I've just documented my entire life, business, psychological framework, everything, using Notion AI, ChatGPT, and Claude. But why would I spend hours doing this? It's so I can have Notion AI do all the busy work. So for example, on Monday morning, I have this weekly routine with Notion AI now, where for 30 to 60 minutes, we go back and forward on this 3-phase process, where first we context gather, so 15 to 20 minutes. It searches all the databases, all this documentation to understand how my business works, the tools I use, the Notion setup, the content I post, all the SOPs and structures and templates I use, my clients, leads, all of it. It checks last week's sprint plan and then starts prepping this week's sprint plan. Almost like I'm having a one-on-one meeting with a project manager, but it's Notion AI. We then plan and prioritize the next week based on all those databases and everything it knows about my life and business. But then the final part is beautiful. We create a sprint plan for the next week of exactly what I'm doing, but then it creates all the tasks needed in my project manager. But then say in this process, it's like, okay, we got this new lead. Now what? It will go to the SOP documentation, then finds the exact process for new leads, the template we use for those leads, and sets it all up in my database. And then if they qualify as a client and we close them, same thing for that process. But probably my favorite way is context of my life, this timeline one, where I spent a good hour or two just recounting everything that's happened in my life and all the businesses I've started and how I've got to my position now and given it to Notion AI. It's just one of those things where this is the closest AI that just gets me. It feels like it knows me because it has the context. But this is what's crazy I just did then. I did Dan Koh's crazy prompt for development assessment, basically understanding my brain. And there is so much context here on the way I think, the way I work, which I've just added here as another core part of the documentation context behind my Notion AI assistant. Should I make a more in-depth breakdown?